We're back.
Hey!
We didn't die.
No, not this time.
We could have.
And yikes,
remember
we
that.
definitely could have. Yeah.
And don't you fucking ever forget it.
Yeah.
That we could have died.
Yeah, and so could have you.
But mainly us.
So could have you.
So could have you.
So
could have you.
Yeah, so could you, I think. That's what I'm looking for.
But we came back just for you. That's why we said we couldn't do it. This is why we're back.
Yeah.
Babo, did you watch a movie?
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Before you even start, I will say certain movies that we do.
Mm-hmm.
Some I guess you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
I hope. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
This was one of the ones where I not only do I know you'll love it.
Yeah.
I watched it going, how did you not see this? It's one of those. It was, and not because some I know how they got past you. Blah blah blah. But this one, it's like this is like a Ehsan movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed all of it. It was just fun. It was.
How
fun.
did that one get by you? Let's start there.
When I first saw the previews, I was like, who gives a shit? This is weird.
Me too.
Yeah.
Right there with you.
And then I learned it was the same guys that did 21 Jump Street and Lego Movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like,
years later.
Yeah, I gotta watch this. And then, like most movies that I say I gotta watch, I never watch.
So you thought it was bad for a long time.
Yes, and
then
then
found out
it was those two guys. So I was like, it's probably actually pretty good.
And then did you heard people say, oh, it's actually pretty good, or you haven't heard anything about it?
I heard like in passing and on the internet, people would be like, yeah, it's actually like on those Reddit threads about what's a movie that no one knows
Not getting.
is good.
You noticed it wasn't getting shit on. People.
People were like, it would be end up in those threads like, yo, you gotta watch this movie. It's actually pretty funny.
It is.
Yeah, and it's genuinely very funny.
Very funny.
The jokes are good.
And they come at you a million miles.
Yeah, and
a million seconds, however fast.
Yeah, they never stop. They never stop. It's just joke after joke after joke.
And not only that, I love that the jokes aren't just in the writing. It's in the scenery. It's in the background.
Yeah.
There's constant jokes going on.
Yeah.
So you can't catch them just because there's jokes in every aspect of the movie was a joke. And I love that.
Well, yeah, we talked about like, you usually ask me what you miss, but it's like,
it's
just jokes. Yeah, you miss so much. I mean, I thought the best joke, this is probably, if there was a Hall of Fame of jokes, I'd put this in there, and you didn't mention it, was that Mr. T, his hair has a reverse mohawk. He has a full head of hair except where a mohawk would be, and it's bald there.
So it looks like a reverse T.
It's a reverse Mr. T, and that's so funny. That's like
you're right. He has a normal afro, like a normal haircut, and then
shaved where they're like
perfectly where a mohawk would be.
Yeah, perfectly shaved of where his mohawk would be. Great joke.
Didn't mention it once.
No.
Great.
That's how you know it's a great joke. They didn't mention it once. They just kept on going with it.
Did you see the TV? The TV running around like I told you?
Yeah.
Constantly
my
doing
favorite
shit?
part is my favorite TV joke was when the town was getting absolutely destroyed. You're right. The level of destruction is people died.
No, people died. People actually died in that town.
People for real died
because
of like flying hot dogs.
No, we see one guy get crushed with a meatball.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like he's dead, dude. That's a fucking meatball falling from the sky.
Yeah, you're gone. Yeah. My favorite joke is so they start looting the TVs.
Yeah.
And then the TV comes in and loots a person.
Yeah, and the person's like, what?
Yeah.
I forgot about that. God, that's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. I love jokes like that.
Yeah. Very simple. I didn't really quite understand Barry, what's his name, Barry? Brent or whatever, the baby Brent?
Big Baby Brent, who I thought was the funniest.
Brent the chicken. I didn't really get that when you were describing it, and then I saw it, and I was like, oh, that's really weird.
Bro, I'm no longer Baby Brent. I'm Chicken Brent. Yo. Oh my God. So yeah, well, anything else I missed that you like, or anything that I hit, you know what I mean? That you're like, oh, that was right on the money, or
you hit the calling. Hanging up, regrouping, that thing. Like when he describes what he's doing.
Processing.
Yeah.
Uplifting. Discouraging. Yo, that shit's so... And they did so many of them, and they were all funny.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
It's a good character trait.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish he did that more, kind of. I wish he described what he was doing more, especially like when he's in the tornado.
Oh my God! Yeah,
like
he should have been
like,
describing everything he was doing. Stepping down the ladder.
Yeah.
In front of the door. Yeah.
Well, that's the sort of like if I were to like critically look at this movie, which I mean, you'd have to be an idiot to take yourself this seriously during a movie. That being said,
go ahead, buddy. Hit him with it.
Because remember, I told you I had that. I started the movies we do. I group them into 5 categories now: the great, above average, average, bad, and so good it's bad, or so bad it's good.
Rocky 4.
Yeah.
The last category is just Rocky 4.
Yeah, 1 through 5. So I put this in the above average category. I didn't put it in the great category.
Ooh, so that's number 2.
Yes, category 2.
So it's not in the category of, let's say, an Inside Out. Would you put
No.
that in the greats?
Or yes,
Or
I would
Toy
put that,
Story? Or
yeah.
I'm just guessing here.
But in terms of the podcast, I want to like compared to another comedy that I did that's like I put in the great category. I put Zoolander in the great category.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Me and Sam were quoting that yesterday, just quoting it.
Yeah, and I think what holds this back from being in that category is there's two things. One, the like as far as animation goes, I want like put stuff in the background. You know what I mean? Like everything, like it's not as simple as ants, but the background's pretty simple.
Yeah, you can tell that's not where they put.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess maybe it's like not they don't have the money like Pixar has the money like, but it's like DreamWorks, right? Or is it not?
I don't know who did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
If it's some independent animation company, I think I get it more.
I'm gonna assume though. I mean, it's just a guess. Whoever focused on this movie, like whoever actually had control was
Jokes.
clearly worried about the jokes.
Jokes.
And I mean, you know, that's
And all power to it. I mean, the jokes.
but yeah,
were
you're
good.
right. He was not. Whoever it was not worried about
Yeah.
the animation.
Yeah, but the reason why I brought Zoolander up, I didn't bring it up randomly, was that the reason what makes Zoolander so good is that all the characters are themselves to a ridiculous extent. All the characters are extreme. Ben Stiller's extreme.
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson's extreme.
Vince
Will
Vaughn.
Ferrell's extreme.
Yeah,
Vince Vaughn
yeah.
is
Not Vince Vaughn.
extreme.
Will Ferrell.
Jerry Stiller, extreme.
Yeah.
They're all extreme versions of it. They're all like, and same thing with the guy, the Phil Lords and Christopher, whatever. The other movies, 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street,
Extreme
Lego movie,
characters.
they're extreme. This one, they're a little more down the middle.
Way more tamed.
Yeah, like Flint Lockwood was like a kind of like, besides the fact that he invents like crazy shit, he's relatively like even keeled and like he's not like he should be inventing things to like a ridiculous extent.
Yeah.
And the reporter girl should be questioning things and being a reporter to a ridiculous extent.
No, they were being way more for like comedic, chill. Like,
Yeah, they-
let's like tone this down.
Yeah. At a certain point, every character except for the mayor was extreme.
And the cop, I guess.
And the cop
Mr.
was,
T.
but even Mr. T, like, okay, so
His tame moment. Yeah, you're right.
tame moment. He's trying to help his kid, but like, there was one moment in the film that I thought was really funny and should have been where he tackled a jaywalker, like straight up. He should have been that the entire movie. He should have been like over parking tickets, over ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like,
they tried to show him moments of like this other side, and they shouldn't have.
How
I
he-
get
as
that.
a- how he's a
It's an
kid.
animated comedy.
yeah. So I mean, that's what holds it back. I think from being like to put it in category 1 is that in a comedy, especially in a goofy comedy like this, I think you'd want your characters to be extra goofy.
Yeah,
You know, and
I feel that.
You know, and even the news anchor, he should have been more misogynistic. He should have had like the more like coiffed hair. You know what I mean? He should have looked more news anchor.
You're right.
He could have been a little more demeaning to her. He should have been. It would have been funny because he was already like, you're embarrassing yourself here, but he was still relatively calm.
You're right. Now I'm thinking of like all the legendary animated movies, and yeah, the characters like are so the character.
Yeah.
In the legendary ones.
Yeah. Or like, you know, at least in the pure silly ones. Like if you're doing a movie like The Hangover, where it's like you're trying to base it a little bit in reality, then you can have more even kill like Ed Helms and like they're more even.
Yeah.
But
Everybody's not Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah. But in Zoolander, everyone's Zach Galifianakis. You know what I mean? Like if that's the type
And that's
of movie,
the kind of and that's clearly the kind of comedy
this was trying to be.
It was trying to be a Zoolander, and it hit. Jokes wise, it hit. They were jokes.
Yeah, I
per
mean,
minute,
there's a reason why it's
but
number 2.
It's not a Zoolander.
It's not.
You're right. It's not a Zoo. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
You're absolutely right.
That's the one thing I found myself wishing while I was watching the movie. It's like you know, like how he describes everything. He should have done that constantly.
Yeah.
You know, because it would have just been because the jokes are so incredibly strong.
Yeah.
There's so many good jokes that my favorite, you know, when it's raining ice cream and they have a chocolate and a vanilla and a strawberry section, like all the kids like chocolate and vanilla, and there's this one really slow autistic kid that's like, I like strawberry, and he's the only one that likes strawberry.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, dude, it's like the jokes are,
Bro, when he's pounding motherfuckers with snowballs,
yeah,
it's so funny.
the jokes are top notch, but it's like he should have been like that's the extreme part of his character.
Snowball guy should have been the whole movie.
Should have been his whole character.
And then you're right. Now we're talking. Now it jumps, and then you up the animation a little bit. That's what it needs.
The only straight man that needed to be a straight man was the dad. That should have been the only.
Well, he
straight
was
man.
the straight man.
Yeah. That's the only straight man.
And
in
he
the
killed
movie.
his role.
Yeah, but it's like in certain scenes, Flint was the straight man. Like
And the girl was a straight man.
Yeah, the girl.
I also love the Manny character. He was awesome. The little Mexican pirate.
Well, and this is I was gonna bring Manny up in terms of what I was saying. The way they should have set Manny's character up, I thought, was that you should have been like, I wanted to see more of him as like the director guy, as the cameraman. And like maybe he's bad at it, maybe he's fucking up. And then so when he switches to he can do everything else.
Pilot, comedian. That was the best one.
Yeah. He's so funny because he's so good at everything else but this job that he came here for. You know? Like that would be my only criticism of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
They'd have had to dive a little deeper, but then you're making it a little bit of a longer movie. I mean, but if you're gonna up the animation and up the characters, it's worth it. So
yeah. But at the same time, it's like I know what these guys did after this, so it's like, oh, if this is your first movie, if your first movie is Cloudy with a Chance of Meatball, and that's the world you want to live in, you're doing a good job.
Oh yeah, I love that they were like, yo, we about them jokes.
Yeah, I mean, and as far as characters go, they definitely figured that shit out during the Jump Streets and Lego movies.
I mean, in this movie, the characters are it's a number 2 in your world. Yeah. It's a great movie. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely like if you haven't watched it and like need something very light to watch, you're in that mood. Yeah, it's perfect.
Oh,
it's
man.
perfect.
If you're late night or early day, when you're trying to chill, and laugh and laugh way more than you were expecting to, way more than you're expecting to.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I guess we're doing this now. It's all on the shoulders. All right, guys. We'll see you in a bit. 3, 2, 1.
This is us starting.
Yeah. Hey, guys. Oh, man, the podcast listeners are going to be so confused for the first 10 seconds of that.
It's okay. Yeah. He'll edit it and figure out which one was the best place to start, because we're starting. Hello, Beaners. Welcome to watching.
Yeah.
Welcome to your YouTube on your phone or whatever.
Yeah. What are we doing today?
Today, we shall do. I guess you're the only one who doesn't know. That's so funny to me that they know. You have no idea.
Yeah, it's true. I don't have any idea.
It's way funny to me. So you guys know. He doesn't know.
I'm excited.
Ehsan, what happens in the crazy ass movie Batman Forever?
Yo, I've been meaning to see this movie forever. Well, I mean, pun not intended. But like my cousin says it's like his favorite movie because it's one of those so bad it's good movies. So I have what the okay.
Do you even know which one it is?
Yes, it's the George Clooney one with there's a Robin, and I think Alicia Silverstone is Catwoman, and I think this is the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And
what happened?
Michelle Pfeiffer, I think. Maybe not Michelle Pfeiffer. Whoever plays the fucking Poison Ivy lady. I think there's 2 of them. I think it's
Michelle Pfeiffer. Keep going, buddy. You're killing it. But you're killing it. I love it. Don't you stop. Don't you stop now.
It's in that world of people.
Keep going.
Yeah. I could be way wrong. Well, I'm definitely way wrong.
What happens?
I can't even start to imagine what happens.
You know it's Batman.
Well, it's Batman and Robin.
Okay, what are they doing?
They're fighting crime together. I bet you it's Arnold Schwarzenegger that attacks first.
Ooh.
And just hits him with ice pun after ice pun.
Do we see our heroes first or the villain first? Like, who do we start with? You know how
we see the villain first.
Villain first. Freeze first. Okay.
We see Freeze first.
Cool.
And then we see Batman and Robin. And then while they're fighting the fucking ice guy, a lot of people get in the way. First is Catwoman. Who's they, you know, it's kind of like the Dark Knight Returns where they fight her at first, but then she's on their side.
Yeah.
And then the Poison Ivy girl probably comes in and she'd probably be like, how does she get in their way? I don't know, she's like seduces Batman or whatever the fuck. And then that distracts him. And then they're able to beat both Freeze and Poison Ivy at the last minute. They who are trying to take Gotham under their control for different ice-related or plant-related purposes.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's Batman and Robin.
And wait, how did it climax? And then?
Oh, I mean, they're fighting them both at the same time.
And then they just beat them?
Yes. So, like, a couple of them are probably fighting Freeze, and then one is fighting Poison Ivy.
Is there Alfred in this?
Yes.
Who do you think he is? You had a guess.
Oh, who do I think Alfred is?
Yeah, you just throw it out, because you know there's always an Alfred.
Fuck.
Just throw it out. Who do you think?
I don't even know. What at this time? It was probably like early 90s, so I don't even know.
Who was British at the time.
Yeah, who was British at the time, and who was like old enough. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with I don't know Jack Lemmon. That sounds like an old guy.
That's fucking hot, bro.
That sounds like an old guy.
Yo, this is your best opening yet. This is the best one you've ever fucking done, dude.
Is Mr. Freeze in this one?
Huh?
Or is he in the third one?
There's so many. You don't even know which one. You don't even know what era we're doing.
No, this is.
That's what makes this. You could also be right.
Yeah.
We start
Yes.
with the Warner Brothers sign.
Okay.
All right. And it turns into the Batman logo.
Okay.
So it is a Batman movie.
Well, I mean, I got from Batman Forever. I was able to put it together.
You never know. You never know with Warner Brothers.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
You never know with Warner Brothers. That's a bit now.
So the names are flashing across the screen of all the stars in the movie, right? The cast.
Okay.
Lots of and who directed it. Okay.
Okay. Was this a famous director?
Oh yeah.
Was it?
But we'll get there.
It wasn't Tim Burton, was it? No,
We'll get to all the things
okay.
that are the things.
Okay.
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 I love this one. This is a great one.
Oh God.
Forever with the Batman logo comes on the screen. Okay.
Yeah.
We see our star suiting up. Ching ching. He's grabbing all his weapons. All right. So we see the hero first.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I was wrong. Isn't this the one with the Batman with like crazy abs on the suit? Like this had like ridiculous amount of abs.
They all have crazy abs on the suit. I don't know,
Okay.
other than the ones that are good.
Yeah.
And these are great. I love these. By the way, I love this movie today. I loved all the Batman movies.
Yeah.
It's just then there's the real ones.
Yeah.
We all know the real. Like I don't even consider these ones with the real ones.
Yeah. It's very funny to have a suit with abs.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
We know you're ripped under there. You're
Yeah.
fighting. We wouldn't assume
That's
there's
a
a beer
very
gut under there.
vain superhero when you think about it. Like they have to know I have abs over my suit. Get out of here.
Because it's not like, no, it's so it fits in there better.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be flat.
Yeah. Are you flexing constantly? You weirdo. Fight crime.
So he's suiting up and he's grabbing his bat weapons and we're seeing his dope ass lair. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we see the coolest Batmobile. This is probably the best Batmobile. This is like the one that you think of, when you think of like the toy version, where it looks like a rocket ship almost with the fire coming out the back, like that Batmobile. When you kind of think of the Batmobile,
it's this one. It's the best Batmobile.
It's the cool one, all right? Mm-hmm. So he's doing all that shit and he's loading up and he gets in the car and then Alfred goes, "Can I persuade you to take a sandwich, sir?" And he goes, "I'll get drive-through."
All right.
And the door closes.
Okay. I like that. I like the idea of Batman in a McDonald's drive-thru.
What is he? All right. Right?
Number 2.
Can I get
no pickles?
No pickles. I really don't want pickles.
Last time I came here, you guys gave me the pickles. It's like you're not listening to me.
I mean, if I need to be more clear, I'll say it again, but I don't want pickles.
It's just like a Batmobile to go 3 miles per hour. Who's Alfred?
Old British dude. I don't know him either.
Okay.
You recognize him when you see him.
Okay.
I just want to see what name you could throw out there.
Okay. Jack Lemmon's a pretty good old guy name.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
So he speeds out, right? The movie has a lot of colors.
It's
the most
90s,
colorful
right?
Batman you've ever seen, bro. Yeah. So it's really colorful. And I love that you still don't know who our Batman is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's really colorful and bright, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is crowded outside this building and the bat signal's in the air. Okay.
Right.
We meet our villain. Okay. And you see half his face. And it's Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh shit. So it's not the Professor Freeze one. Oh my god.
Or is it?
Oh,
do you know how that one starts?
No, I have no idea.
So
okay, well, who is he playing? What's
Tommy Lee? You see half.
Oh, he's Two-Face.
His face.
Oh, my bad. Oops.
I know, right?
Oops.
Like, there's only a couple villains where they would start that way. So you see half his face.
How fucked up is it?
Half.
How fucked is his face compared to?
Well, let me. 3 seconds.
Okay,
I'll be right there.
Okay.
I wrote this all down.
Okay.
He's talking shit.
Yeah.
He's talking crazy too. He kind of sounds like a crazy person. He's talking crazy like this, right?
Oh, I like you're Tommy Lee Jones.
So he's talking crazy, and they finally show the other half of his face, and he's yelling something about being lucky, and then they show the other half of his face. He looks like if a nigga threw hot.
It's so funny if you just ended there.
You're racist.
Oh, you're okay. I'm racist.
He's racist.
I'm racist. Okay.
It looked like if a nigga took a bat of hot grease and threw it on Thanos.
Okay. Okay, so it looks weird.
It looks like Thanos' purple face.
Purple face. Yeah, okay.
Got melted.
Oh, okay.
But it's like not
like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay. Like what?
Yeah, like a Barney.
Yeah. What happened to you?
Yeah, like they just slid it down a little bit. It's like, what the fuck? They had better graphics than this, I think, but that's what they went.
They were able to make dinosaurs in that time look pretty good.
I thought so. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they made Jews die in the millions pretty cool. Way before then.
I mean, I don't think there's a lot of special effects in that one.
Still look believable.
Okay, well. I'm racist.
So, he just looks, you can't even focus on what he's saying because he looks so goddamn ridiculous. And also half of his suit. So he's got half of a normal suit and the other half of his suit is like flared.
That's insane.
Bro.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's flipping a coin a bunch, right? And his face almost kind of looks like the Joker a little bit. Doesn't look anything like the Two-Face from the Joker movie.
Oh yeah.
Looks more like the Joker.
Okay.
All right, like that kind of paint.
Okay.
And like the scarring on the lips, And so he's flipping a coin a bunch, and he's telling the cop, he's like, and he finally does it, and he said he's gonna let him live, and he's talking to this cop, right? He's tied up. And he says, but you're gonna be bait to catch Batman, okay? So the next thing you see Batman slinging in off this building, right? And he lands into like the crowded people, and so you can tell people are clearly cool with Batman.
Yeah.
As far as the city goes, nobody's like, oh, it's Batman. Niggas are like, oh yeah, okay, good.
Yeah.
We were expecting you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ooh.
So
different level of Batman.
Yeah, this is where he is in his career.
Yeah. Batman's career is interesting.
Yeah. This is like the 24 of Kobe era of the Batman career.
Okay.
He just changed jerseys.
Okay.
So they're appreciating him again.
I like how I said, yeah, like that made sense.
Like it made any sense. Just because you like, I know Kobe.
I remember when he switched his jersey.
Fuck. I'm laughing too hard. We can't get past the first page. So he slings in, bro, and he slings into Nicole Kidman, right? She's down at the bottom. She's the main girl, okay? Who'd you say? Michelle Pfeiffer?
Yeah, was Poison Ivy.
Oh, no. Who'd you say was the main woman?
Alicia Silverstone. I thought she was Catwoman.
Yeah, okay.
For whatever reason.
Yeah. So Nicole Kidman is... She's sitting there and she's standing and she goes, ooh, hot entrance, right? And she's really sexy.
Yeah.
Way sexy and way sounding sexy. Yeah. And then so she goes, I'm Chase Meridian. And then he goes, oh, you're a psychologist. He talks, and then Batman's telling her how he reads her work.
Okay.
Batman though.
Yeah.
Saying, oh, I read your work. He's saying it in his Batman voice.
Yeah.
I read your work. I really like it, right?
Yeah.
And then she's like flirting, and she's like, oh, I can't believe. She's like, oh, wow. What'd she say? She's not every day a girl finds out her book makes a superhero's night table. And then he's like, oh, yeah. It's like, what the fuck is really going on? Okay?
I don't like, go, move on. Go.
So she's like, Killa, let me write a paper on you. And then he's like, she's like a grown man swinging around like a flying rodent. I'd love to do a thing on research you. And he's like, bats are rodents. And then she's like, call me Chase. And then she turns and goes, do you have a first name or should I just call you Bat? And then she turns back and he's gone. Because he's Batman.
Yeah, dude, that's the best part of Batman. Batman just leaves.
He never finishes the conversation.
He
would do great in LA.
I think there's a great. It's in The Dark Knight, right? When he turns around and the commissioner's gone, it's like, oh, is that what it feels like?
Yeah.
I think that happens also in Batman Beyond, the cartoon.
No. He doesn't turn around. I think who Catwoman does it to him.
Okay, yeah. Someone does it to him.
Catwoman does it in the third one. And he's like, that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
God, Batman, you're the best. The real one. So next scene, Batman is busting into the building, right? And then you hear Two-Face yell, punctual even for his own funeral. And then he goes, boys, kill the bat. And then the elevator door like dings up because he busts into this elevator, right?
Yeah.
And then the elevator like goes up. And so they're shooting, all of his men are shooting at the elevator, right? And they're also dressed like idiots because half of them are like red and black.
Yeah. Okay.
They're all red and black, know?
Just for no reason.
For no reason. Yeah. And they're shooting at the door, right? And then he, of course, busts through the door, and after they get done shooting, then he beats the shit out of him. He's just beating the shit out of him, and he's shooting a nigga with like an electric Batman gun, and then he's doing the old school thing where they ties their feet, like that.
And he pulls them.
He pulls them. He's doing like lame ass karate. You know what I mean? Like old, just because it's old movies. So he's doing lame karate, and he saves a guy. He saves the guy's like finally he goes and saves the guy's like life. Like he saves the cop that was Two-Face was talking shit to. Yeah. And the cop, like he rips the tape off and he goes, "It's a trap," right? And then they lock Batman inside this vault and a helicopter pulls the vault away. Okay. And then now Two-Face is on top of this in the helicopter, like laughing.
They got him.
Right?
Yeah. They got him.
And they got him. And he's like, "Attention, citizens of Gotham." He goes, he says how he's serving them. He said, "I'm about to serve you acid like this other place that serves acid." He's saying crazy jokes, bro. I don't know what he's saying. He's being ridiculous.
Okay.
And then the cop, like, and Batman realize that there's acid in the vault. And so now they're climbing to the top of the vault, right? And the guy's like screaming, like, "Don't let go!" And he's like really weird. The cop's like really extra lame.
Yeah.
Like extra lame.
Yeah.
It's like really nerdy. And he's like, "My shoes are melting, Batman. Those are my glasses." And then Batman's like, "I need this." And he grabs his hearing aid. He's like, "That's my hearing aid." And Batman places the hearing aid on the vault and then figures out the code with the hearing aid.
Right. Right.
And then he busts out the vault, cuts the chain, shoots one of his Batman hooks, right? It catches on something, and then he slings the vault back into the bank, and it goes right back into where it was.
Okay.
Okay. And that was that.
Wait, this is like Two-Face get away? Or what?
So Two-Face is in a helicopter, right?
Yeah.
And the chase girl, she's looking up. She's like, she points and she sees Batman. And now he's swinging from the
Swinging
bottom
from
of the helicopter.
Yeah.
Right? And they are trying to swing him off. And he's like, "Hang on, Batty." And he's like swinging the helicopter like crazy. And then they fly the helicopter into a building, like into this eye of a giant building, like through the glass. And they look down and Batman's gone, right?
Right.
And they're like, "Oh, happy day. Farewell to the forever to that pointy-eared night rat," right? And then, of course, they look up and then his cape is like on the window of the helicopter.
Yeah.
And so now he's shooting at it and he kills the pilot, Two-Face. He kills the pilot. Okay. Batman comes in and he goes, Batman's like, "You need help, Harvey." And then he goes, "Give up." And Two-Face punches him with a gun and it like knocks Batman out the helicopter and gets him stuck on something.
Right.
And then Two-Face locks the helicopter wheel, like the wheel of to drive it, and then jumps out with a parachute. And then it crashes into a building. Batman gets off last second, falls into the water. Right?
Okay, so he just 9/11 something.
Pretty much. He does, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, the Statue of Liberty. That's what it is. He 9/11's the Statue of Liberty. It's the Statue of Liberty, by the way, that he runs into.
Okay. Jesus.
Yeah.
Well.
I was like, "Well, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I would have forgot that."
Yeah. Most people are glad when I bring it up.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, thank you for bringing 9/11 up."
Two-Face gets away.
Mm-hmm.
So the next day, on the news, they're talking about how Two-Face got away and how Bruce Wayne, big things are happening at Wayne Enterprise and how he's getting into like TV fields, like any entertainment fields, right?
Okay.
So we meet Jim Carrey. Okay. And he's doing science shit and he's working at Wayne Enterprise.
Oh, shit.
Do you know anything that's happening right now, or are you finding out things?
I'm like, okay, so the Batman I was thinking of was probably Batman and Robin.
And this is, do you know what this is?
But this is Val Kilmer, isn't it? Yeah, okay. I know the Batmans and like I didn't know, but I thought Batman Forever, fourth movie. I went, yeah, dude. I went totally. Two Batman, Two Furious. That's right. You know what I mean?
You jumped ahead.
I totally thought it was like they named themselves like the Fast and Furious movies. Yeah. So I was thinking Batman and Robin, but my guess still applies. I'll still keep it.
That's why, as you can see now, why I thought your guess was the greatest.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he has no idea what I'm about to hit him with.
No. Oh, my God. So this was not one of my cousin's favorite movies, but
I know. This is one of Deric's favorite
I bet
movies.
he liked this one. All right.
So we meet Jim Carrey, who was by far best part of this movie.
Okay.
I mean, not even, just acts fucking circles around everybody in this movie. And it's Tommy Lee Jones. It's just Jim Carrey, though. You know what I mean?
Who's the director?
Force. Tim Burton.
Oh, Tim Burton directed the first three? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was just the first two.
Mm-hmm. So, where were we? Oh, so we meet Jim Carrey, and he's freaking out that Bruce Wayne's coming into the offices today, right? To meet with them. And he says how, and then right then he sees Bruce, and he goes, "Oh, Bruce Wayne!" And then Bruce is like, "Oh, that's my name, right?" And he goes, "And you are?" And he goes, "Edward Nigma." He goes, "You hired me personally, but we never met." And he's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna need that hand back, Ed," because he won't let go of his hand. He's like, "I'm sorry, you're my idol." And Jim Carrey's being like extra creepy, extra creepy. Yeah. And he's just killing it. Yeah.
His name is Enigma.
Edward Nigma. Yeah, Enigma.
Yeah. And he's the Riddler.
Oh, how do you already know?
I know he's the Riddler. Come on. That's
also
famous.
Right then. His name's Enigma. I think I got it.
Yeah.
So, he goes, "Well, you're my idol." He goes, and then right then his boss is standing next to Bruce, the Edward Nigma guy. He's like, "Get back to work, Edward." And he's like embarrassed by him. He's like tries to get him away, and then he goes, people are trying to keep us apart, Bruce." And he like jumps back in front of him, and Bruce is like, "Okay, well, what's on your mind, Edward?"
Oh my God, this is how people treat Rogan at the store.
Yes. Don't do that to him.
Oh my God, the amount of people. Hey, whenever Rogan's at the store.
Joe, by the way, Joe Rogan.
Yeah, leave him the fuck alone. Oh my God. The amount of you guys that I have to stop, I'm putting it on you guys because we're mean to our fans.
You fucking beaners. Yeah. Stop bothering Rogan, beaners.
Jesus.
I'm blaming you personally. Actually, I'm going to hold our fans accountable for that. You guys, everybody has to have faults.
That's funny. We're not very nice to them.
That's why they listen to them.
That's a good point. But yeah, this is exactly how people treat Rogan at the store. It's crazy.
Oh, God. Yeah. So he goes, "Well, what's on your mind, Ed?" And he goes, "What's on everyone's mind? Brain waves." All right. And then he's looking at him, and he goes, "The future of Wayne Enterprise. I'm telling you, Bruce, it's brain waves." And then he grabs a helmet that is literally just a blender on top of a bunch of shit.
That's funny.
Okay. And he's like, "This will make audiences feel like they're inside the show that they're watching." Right. And he goes, he's like, "I know, but someone like you, Bruce, you don't need this. Someone so intelligent and so charming." Yeah, Jim Carrey's off.
So like a lot of homoeroticism to this?
No, he's not homoerotic. He's more just weird.
Okay.
But the movie is extremely sexual, and the colors are really bright. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Tim Burton.
Yeah, Tim Burton's not a bright guy generally.
Right. So he goes, I know, that's why the colors are just, yeah. Mm-hmm. So he goes, "Please let me show you." You'll see what I'm talking about. He goes, "Please let me show you this." And then he goes, "Well," he's like, I know we'll be partners one day, Bruce." And then right then Bruce looks out the window and he sees the bat signal. Mm-hmm. And he goes, "Call my assistant. We'll set something up." And then he goes, "No, I need an answer now." And then he goes, "Well, then no."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Tampering."
Have you ever done business before?
Yeah. And he also says, "Tampering with people's minds, it raises too many questions for me. I don't want to get involved in that."
Right.
And then he walks away, and then Jim is just destroyed. And he goes, "You were supposed to understand. I'll make you understand." It fades black. So Batman gets home, and he sits in this chair, and he goes, out loud, he goes, "Chair." And then the chair like sends him down into like a rocket thing, and the rocket thing sends him down into his lair.
Okay.
But it's cool as fuck, but it's weird that it just was chair.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So it shoots him down. Mm-hmm. Right. And then Alfred is down there ready for him. And then like cool little shot of him getting in his suit, taking the car out. Right.
Yeah.
And then he gets on top of the building and he jumps over top and he gets to the light and he's looking at it and he's like, "Commissioner Gordon." And then you hear somebody go, "He is at home. I sent the signal." And it's Nicole Kidman.
She shouldn't have that access to that. What?
You're the best guy to watch a movie with. She shouldn't have access
to the bat signal? Are you kidding me? You're gonna let anybody willy-nilly just get to the bat signal? What the fuck?
Yeah, you would think that'd be extra guarded.
Yeah, right? How many fucking women would just do that? How many dudes would just do that?
Okay, women, dudes, everybody trying to fuck Batman.
Dude, I would just to meet him. Just be like, "Oh my God."
I didn't know I could just meet him like this.
Yeah, what? She definitely shouldn't have access to that, but I'll go on.
She's wearing lingerie.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Hot as shit. She's hot, Nicole. You're hot as shit. But what is this role?
Yeah.
So she goes, Two-Face's coin is his Achilles heel, and she goes, "It can be exploited." And then he goes, "I know. Did you call me for this?" And then she goes, and then she's looking at him, and he's like, she's being all sexy, and he goes, "You trying to get under my cape, doctor?" She keeps flirting. And then she goes, "In college, it was motorcycles and bad boys with leather jackets. And now it's black rubber." She rubs his
Why is this happening?
He grabs her.
Yeah. Because he's
and now
Batman.
they're holding into each other. And then he goes, "We all wear masks." And then she goes, "Well, my life's an open book, baby." And then, this is a kid's movie, by the way. She goes, he goes, "Well, we can try." And then she goes, "I'll bring the wine." And then he goes, "I haven't had much luck with women lately." This is a real conversation. "I haven't had much luck with women." This is Batman talking. And then she goes, "Well, maybe you just haven't met the right one." And then he goes, and then right then the commissioner runs up in his pajamas. And he's like, "What's going on up here?" He's out of breath. And then
why is the commissioner in his pajamas? Is this at his house?
Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, is the bat signal at his house?
I think he saw it and just came in his pajamas.
Okay.
He rushed.
Okay.
Which is fair. I'll give him that.
Okay.
He's trying to do his job.
Okay, that's
also,
fair.
lock it up, buddy.
Yeah.
Lock up the bat signal.
Yeah. What? Also, how did this woman in lingerie get to the police station? Without
To
anyone
the roof, dude.
Yeah, without anyone being like, what's happening here?
No, we'll get there. She works there. She's a psychologist at the police station.
Oh,
So
okay.
I guess she would have access. But she shouldn't have access.
No.
Only he should be able to cut it on. It should be like his key.
Yeah.
One key that he has,
Yeah.
that's how he cuts it on.
Yeah, or have a guy on Batman duty, and that's his entire job. His entire
24/7
job
is Batman duty.
just turn the signal on when they need him.
I guess they'd have to have shifts. But I get your point.
Yeah.
There should be a guy.
Yeah, that should be...
Anyway.
Yeah.
So Batman's a false alarm.
It's so funny. Like, even if you're a billionaire, if you're bad with women, you're just bad with women. It's like...
I haven't had luck with
Yeah.
He's really hot, Val Kilmer, in this.
Is he?
He's a good looking guy in this, man. He was that dude in this. You can tell he's just, oh man.
Stuff changed real quick.
Life's a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So false alarm. And then he goes, "You sure?" And then he leaves, right? He jumps down and he lands in his, like a cool superhero landing in his car. Door closed. And then he goes, "Women." Drives up. And that's a scene Tim Burton wrote. So Enigma is up late working on something,
Yeah.
right? And
Edward Nigma.
Mm-hmm. And he goes, "I've got it." And right then, he's still mocking what Batman said, like, "Oh, you need brains, you need brains," right? And then his boss comes in. He goes, "What the hell's going on down here?" And he goes, "I told you this was done, Edward." He goes, "I'm calling security." And then right then he knocks his boss out, right? And then he's talking crazy like Jim Carrey does. And then he goes, "Rise and shine, little guinea pig." And he goes, "This won't hurt a bit." And he goes, "Nigma, you won't switch that on." And right then he cuts on the machine, the TV thing that's on his head, the blender thing.
Right.
And then the fish comes out the TV. So it's basically 3D TV.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Okay.
All right. But he's like tranced on it. Like, right. Like, and then Edward has another machine that's hooked up to his brain, and all this shit's going in his brain as well. Like everything's coming out of this guy's brain.
Okay.
So he's like downloading his thoughts pretty much.
That's insane.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. So Jim Carrey's like yelling gibberish, like blah, 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 like just being crazy.
Yeah, doing Jim Carrey stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and then he's going off on how genius he is, and he's like, he's like, "Riddle me this, Fred." He's talking to the guy. He goes, "Riddle me this, Fred. What is everything to someone and nothing to everyone else?" "You're mine, baby." And he's laughing. And Jim starts singing and he's dancing. And he's just being completely goofy now. And he finally cuts it off. And the boss comes back too. And he's like, "What just happened?" And he goes, "A surprising side effect, Fred. While you were under, I grew smarter." And then the boss goes off on how he's going to tell everyone about this and how he's going to be in a mental institution the rest of his life and all this shit, right? And then he goes, "You're fired." And he goes, and he's like, "And most of all, you're fired." And then he goes, "Fired?" I know, right? He goes, "Fired? I don't think so." And then he pushes him full speed in the chair, like into this window. Like, they're on the top of the building, and the glass breaks, and right then this rope catches that on his head. And then Jim's like, "Hang on, Fred!" And he runs all goofy like he's gonna save him. And then he gets up to him and he goes, "Fred, I think you're fired, or should I say, terminated." And he takes the helmet off, and the guy just falls to his death. Kids movie.
Okay.
Kids movie.
Okay. So if the first thing that happens to me is that this guy knocked me out for a little bit,
Yeah.
I'm going to take whatever you put on my head off, and I'm going to fight him. I'm not going to say, you're fired, and then wait for him to make the next move.
I'm clearly fighting for my life. I think when he knocked me unconscious and I woke up in a chair like tied up with the thing on me, I think I was like, oh, I'm fighting for my life.
Yeah. I'm not being like, oh, he's gonna leave now.
This guy's gonna have to. I'm gonna write a bad review if he has to get hired somewhere else.
Yeah,
I'm firing you.
You know. Now, did he deserve to die? Probably not. In the movie universe, definitely though.
Oh yeah, in the movie universe.
In the movie universe, you made a lot of bad decisions. This is a town where Batman lives. You don't think your employee's gonna kill you? The fuck? Get the fuck out of here. There's a clown robbing banks. Wait, you gotta act like everything's normal?
Half clown.
Whatever. I was thinking of the Joker. But like, you know what? In Gotham, there's so many crazy things happening. You think your employee is just gonna be like, oh, I'm fired? No. He's gonna become a supervillain of some kind. That's what happens in Gotham.
Yeah, every time something bad happens in Gotham, they become a superhero of some kind.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
I used to have a joke about who's moving to fucking Gotham.
Yeah, who's staying in Gotham?
Yeah, dude, housing must be so cheap. It must be like $4 for a house. You know what I mean?
The population of Gotham should be 30 people.
Yeah.
And everyone should know that it's Bruce Wayne's Batman.
Yeah.
It's 30 of us. So Bruce Wayne is watching the news, and they tell how Two-Face, and they're telling a story about Two-Face on the news.
Right.
And they're saying how Two-Face was a district attorney, and they're showing him in a courtroom, and this mob boss threw acid on half of his face.
Mm-hmm.
And Batman was trying to save him, but it was too late. And he couldn't get to him. And that's why he's mad at Batman.
I mean, pretty low stakes. You fucking let the mobster take acid into... You know, Gotham gets everything it deserves.
Dude, everything it deserves.
Or deserves everything it gets. That's what I meant to say. But whatever. Fuck Gotham.
Next day, Jim Carrey's crying, right? And all these news reporters and cops are talking to him, and he's talking about his boss's death and how sad he is, and he's just bullshitting and being crazy Jim Carrey.
Right.
And they check the tape, and they see that it was like Jim Carrey, Enigma changed the tape to make it look like a suicide.
Yeah.
Like he altered it, you know?
Yeah.
And then, but Bruce is watching it, and he's like,
nah.
Something's up with this.
Yeah, he's the good old detective.
Good old Detective Bruce.
Yeah.
And then they call it a suicide, right? But Bruce doesn't believe it.
Yeah.
And then they find a black, like, little letter with a green question mark on it, right? And then he reads it. He opens it up and he reads it, and it says, "You look at the number on my face, you won't find 13 any place."
Oh, so it's a clock?
Clock?
That's an easy-ass riddles?
Right?
Yeah.
So,
does it take Batman a second to figure it out?
no, he goes clock. Like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank God. I thought this was like that was like the thing, and Batman couldn't figure it out. I was
The
like,
whole movie, how funny.
yeah. Or like okay.
So
these are easily figure-outable riddles.
Figure-outable riddles.
Yeah.
So there's you see no trespassing on a little door, and a guy goes in, and it's Enigma's place.
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally the size of a court, like a hallway, if that.
Yeah.
You know, our hallway where we live.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's so small.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a Riddler machine in the corner. Like one of those old Zoltar machines.
Okay,
That, like an
okay.
ACC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
one of those, but it's the Riddler inside.
Okay.
And he goes, like to a red question mark or a green one.
Mhm.
Okay. And Jim Carrey's just kind of like walking around his place. And then what is it? Oh, they show him, and he's being like crazy, and he starts making another riddle thing for Bruce, right? And it shows him riding his scooter up to Bruce Manor, and he goes, "Wayne Manor." And then he puts the note on the gate, and he goes, "See you soon," and he drives off.
Right.
So the next day, Bruce pulls up like a boss, like in this dope ass Jaguar car, like to the police station, right? And it's Bruce Wayne, and he hears someone punching and grunting, right? And it's a woman. And then he goes, he runs down the hallway, and he busts open the door to save her, and it's Nicole Kidman, and she's kickboxing. Right?
Okay.
She's working out.
Yeah.
And in her office. And he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have an appointment." She goes, "Who are you?" And he goes, "I'm Bruce Wayne." And she goes, "Oh, good. Well, you can afford to buy me a new door then, you know?" And then he's like, "I'm sorry." And he lifts it, and she goes, I thought you were in trouble." And she goes, "Well, how can I help you, Mr. Wayne?" And he says, how someone's been sending me love letters. And Gordon said that you would have the best opinion on it. And then she tears one off. It's the second one, right? It's the second riddle. And he goes, tear one off and scratch my head. Once was red is black instead.
Well, sorry, I was not paying attention.
Tear one off, scratch my head. Once was red is black instead.
It's lottery tickets of some kind? No.
A match.
Oh, good one.
I you know you were gonna say because I did the same shit. I was like, oh, that's a good one.
He's getting better.
This is fucking stupid. So she goes, he goes, what is all this? And she goes, this is just somebody just obsessed with you. Don't worry about it. He goes, I don't know. I'm sure about this. I think this guy wants to kill me. And she goes, he does. And then she goes, and then she's telling him why, like psychology, like, but it's not a big deal. He's just a whack job.
Right.
And then he goes, and he's looking at a picture on a wall and he goes, you got a thing for bats? And then she goes, that's a Rorschach. People see what they want to see. Do you have a thing for bats? And then he's like,
Yeah.
yeah. And then he looks and he's like, what's this? And then she's like, it's a dream catcher. And she's like, if you need one. And then she goes, why are you really here? And then he looks at her and he goes, time's up. And she goes, that's my line. And now they're flirting. And then he goes, I've got to get those clothes off of you. And she goes, excuse me? And he says, and put you into a black, and get you into a black dress. And then she smiles. And then he goes, you like the circus?
Yes. She says yes. Please say yes. Please say date in a circus. Date in a circus.
So they're at a circus.
Yes.
And guess what's about to happen, bro?
I mean, no. And I'm so okay with that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
They're at a fucking circus.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest show on earth, blah, blah, blah. There's millions of cameras and Bruce in his face. And they're like, Bruce, who is this girl? Who are you dating? Because he's Bruce Wayne, right?
Right.
He gets to his seat. And then they go, performing feats of amazing skill, the Flying Graysons. And they show this, like, the Graysons, right? And they're doing all this aerial shit.
Right.
You know? And then Batman's watching impressed. And then the Riddler's watching at home and he's booing Batman every time he shows up on the camera.
Right.
And then Batman looks at Nicole and he's like, I'm going rock climbing this weekend. You want to join me? And she goes, I'd like to, but I've met someone. And he goes, that's fast. And she goes, well, he dropped out of the sky kind of like a bang. And then he goes, and she goes, and he goes, oh, is that so? And then she goes, yeah, but I think he felt it too. And then he goes, sure did. And she goes, what? And he goes, who wouldn't? And then she goes, right? And they go, now, Richard, the youngest of the Graysons, to perform the death drop without the safety of a net.
This is Robin.
And then they pull the net, right? And the host walks off, and as he's walking out to smoke a cigarette, he gets yanked off stage into a corner. Okay.
Ooh.
So right then, this young guy starts swinging, and it's swinging. He's doing all this crazy shit, and it's silent in the crowd. And then at the last second, he lets go, and it does a bunch of twists. And then he does some more like swinging shit. He looks like he's about to fall, and then the arm catches him, right? And it's like his brother, like the older brother guy.
Right.
And then they're smiling at each other. And then they swing back up to the top. Okay. And everyone's cheering. And then right then you hear, ladies and gentlemen, forget all this American fun and join us in absolute chaos and true justice. And then right then you hear a bunch of shooting, right? And then they lock everyone inside. So everyone is now locked inside the circus. Okay?
Just lock everyone inside a tent.
And for the new act, this new act, we're gonna call it a massacre under the big top. And then he says, inside this giant orb is 200 sticks of dynamite, and in this hand a radio detonator. And then right then a big black guy gets up and he goes, "What do you want?" And he goes, "Well, Mayor, I'll tell you what I want. Batman dead." Right? And everybody goes, "Ah!" And everyone's screaming. And he goes, "I'm sure all you high elites, you're all here. One of you knows who Batman is, or one of you is Batman. You have 2 minutes." And he starts the clock, right? And then everyone starts screaming and panicking, trying to run out. And right then Kilmer gets up and he goes, "I'm Batman! I'm Batman!" But no one can hear him. Okay? And then it shows Nigma watching at home, and he's like laughing maniacally, right? So Bruce starts beating up henchmen. Now Bruce Wayne, he's just beating up henchmen. And it shows the Grayson family up top. And they're like, "I think we can take the bomb out of the building." And they're like, "Yeah, we can do it." And so they start climbing up the rope, to get the bomb out.
Right.
And then one of them is climbing up another thing to get the bomb out. And so they're all climbing up it. And it shows Two-Face flipping a coin constantly. Like he's flipping a coin. And then it lands on the black side of the coin. And
right.
He goes, "My kind of day." And he starts shooting up at the air at the bomb.
Yeah.
And it hits the wiring, right? And the wiring is holding up the family.
Right.
And they all fall to their death.
All of them? Even Richard?
Richard
Okay.
is already up on the other side.
Okay.
He's climbing up. He can't see all this happening. He just gets to the top where the bomb is and throws the bomb out last second. The bomb rolls off the top of the building into the ocean, blows up. So he's like smiling, and then he looks back down. And he sees his dead family splattered on the ground. Bruce Wayne looking up at him, and he just starts crying. And we see our Robin. We see our...
Who plays Robin?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think his name was Chris O'Donnell.
Oh.
Some actor who had this movie.
Congrats.
You did it.
You did do it. You were Robin.
You were Robin.
The coolest character of all time.
So, right then, you see the next day a motorcycle is driving up to Wayne Manor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you hear the commissioner, he's talking to Bruce Wayne. He goes, thanks for taking him in. He hasn't sleeping or eaten. So, we really appreciate you doing this, right? Right then the kid walks in and Alfred goes, welcome, Master Grayson. And he goes, I'm Alfred. And he goes, like, how you doing, Al? And he says, and the cop, Commissioner Gordon leaves, and right then he goes, by the way, I'm out of here. I just did this shit so the cop would get off my back. And then he goes to leave, and then Bruce follows him. He's like, where are you going? The circus is halfway to Metropolis by now. Superman reference.
Nice.
He goes, I'm going to kill Two-Face. And then he goes, that won't take the pain away. And he goes, nice. And then Bruce is looking at him. He goes, nice bike. He goes, oh, you hang around biker bars a lot, Bruce? And then he goes, well, why don't you let me fill it up in the garage before you leave? And then he goes, pumps right back around here. And then he takes him around the back to his garage, and it's just a million of the nicest cars you've ever seen.
Right.
And he goes, what is this, a fucking car museum? Like, he's still trying to be mad. And he goes, oh, it's over here. And then he takes him to where all the motorcycles are. And then he freaks out about all the cool different motorcycles, And then right then Alfred comes out, and he goes, well, make sure I goes, I hope you land on your feet, kid. And then Bruce turns around and walks, and Alfred goes, oh, he's still here? Well, I prepared all this food for him, but since he's leaving, I'll throw it all away. And then he goes, Alfred, wait up a minute. And then he runs behind him, right?
Yeah.
Seen it.
Okay.
So
he's becoming Robin. Okay. All right.
That's the funniest shit ever. So Bruce looks at pics of his families, right? And he's having flashbacks to the tragic murder.
Oh God.
One of those scenes. They gotta do that scene.
So much.
Yep. Tragedy, the murder and the funeral, right? And then right then you hear Master Bruce. And then he snaps out of it. And he's like, I killed them. And then he goes, who? And he goes, Two-Face. That he slaughtered that boy's parents. And he goes, no, Master. You said I killed them. And then right then he sees the bat signal and he leaves. Okay?
Okay, I like to try to add some psychological aspect to this movie.
They're
Why?
trying. I don't.
Why?
No. Tim, what was going on?
Yeah, what's happening?
He goes, so right then he goes upstairs, Alfred, he goes, can I help you settle in, Master Grayson?
Mm.
He's like, I don't know if I'm staying. And he has a Robin on his helmet, and then Alfred asks him about it, and he tells the story about how his brother was about to fall to his death, but he caught him at the last minute. And then his dad told him that he swooped in like a Robin, and that always just stuck with him.
Right.
And then he asked Alfred to throw the outfit away, like his gymnastics outfit, which looks like the Robin outfit.
Right.
And he goes, how about I'll put it here for you. And he goes, broken wings mend in time. Master Richard. And then he goes, one day Robin will fly again. I promise. Very Alfred-like.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't get mad at
that. Were you trying to get mad at it?
A little bit.
What were you trying to get mad at?
Just this whole scene. Just go back to the circus and the fighting. I don't know. Why do we need this?
So he goes, oh, this is whole psychology shit?
Yeah.
So Batman is riding out in his car, right? And he sees he's being followed by two Two-Face henchmen. Right. Because they have two Two-Faces.
Yeah.
So a homeless person walks in the middle of the road, right?
Yeah.
And last second he reveals himself in his Two-Face, and he's got a rocket launcher.
Right.
And he shoots it at Batman, and then Batman dodges it at the last second, and it kills his henchman.
As always.
More cars come. Batman hits it into high gear. Now it's a car chase scene, okay? So they're driving. Two-Face gets in a car, and he's now driving. He's like yelling. He's on Batman's ass, right? And they're driving. They're doing all this cool shit, and Batman's trying to lose him. And it shows Batman had definitely the first rear view camera in the history of time.
Okay.
Because it's like it looks like a rear view camera.
Like the ones they look like
in
now.
Like a Prius or some shit. You know what I mean?
That's
so it's like, oh, that's the first one.
That's funny.
But it's cool though because he's not going in reverse when you see it.
Yeah.
So he's looking at that and then right then he's driving up really fast on a wall, right? And then he raises his car up last minute and then he shoots up a hook and then he starts driving up the wall.
Yeah.
And then of course all the henchmen they crash. Explode, and then Two-Face he doesn't, he avoids it at the last second, right? And then Batman escapes up the wall, and they're looking up, watching them escape. Like,
okay. All right.
literally. I think he literally did that.
That's amazing.
So Enigma is working on outfits and villain names.
How are these going to come together? Go on.
And he's like, the
I can't even
puzzler,
imagine.
the gamester. And he's trying all this different shit. And he's like, Captain Kill. And the Riddler machine's going to the no thing.
Yeah.
And then they all have like lame outfits. And then finally he goes, question mark, man? And then the Riddler machine keeps saying like, like yes to that one. And then he looks back and he's like, thank you. Thank you so much. And then he gets to work. And then it shows Two-Face, cuts Two-Face in his lair. Mm-hmm. And he's standing in the middle of his lair.
Yes. Okay. I see where this is going on. This is going to be absolutely insane.
Standing in the dead center of his lair.
Yes.
And as I told you before, he has half a crazy suit, half a crazy face, half a regular face, half a regular suit.
Right.
On the right of him, in his lair,
yes,
is a really nice, pristine mansion. Everything's white, chandeliers, beautiful shit. I'm going to guess that you can guess what's on the left side. I'm going to guess that you can guess, but I'm going to tell you anyway.
Yes, please.
It's just hell. It's like red and black lighting, all hell. And he's just sitting in the middle. Mm-hmm. Okay. And he's talking about Batman's refusal to expire drives him insane.
Right.
And then you hear a woman go, don't worry, baby. You'll kill him soon. Besides, I made your favorite. And you see a woman in white lingerie on the white side. And it's Drew Barrymore.
Oh.
And she's dressed in lingerie, tits out, the whole thing. Yeah. Like Nicole Kidman. This movie, Tim Burton, bro.
Yeah. I did not know Drew Barrymore was in the Batman series. But.
Oh, because she's this role.
Yeah, okay.
This role that's nothing. Okay. So she's the angel girl.
Yeah.
And then on the other side is a devil girl. And she's dressed like a whore too. And she's saying that she cooked all this like bad shit.
Who's the devil girl?
I don't recognize her.
Okay.
It's the most pimp shit ever too, because the both of them are bad as hell. And they're in lingerie and they're like all over.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you hear somebody go, I hope you made extra. And turns around to and say, who the hell are you? And then it's Jim Carrey in a green onesie Riddler outfit.
Yes.
With a Riddler cane.
I've seen the outfit.
You've seen this ridiculous fucking outfit with the orange hair, slick back.
Yeah.
And Two-Face is about to shoot him, right? And he goes, let's see if you bleed green. And he goes, I don't think you want to kill me. You want to kill Batman. Kill the Bat. And the Riddler pitches the idea of killing him, and then also how he can humiliate him first. And then he's like, and that's how we crush him. And the Riddler talks about how he loves his place, and then he whistles to his girls to come over and sit down in front of their TVs, the bad TV and the good TV. Because one TV looks really shitty and one TV is really nice. Bro, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then he puts...
Also, have security, Two-Face. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What?
So he puts the TV blender things on their head, and he's like, and puts it on Two-Face's head and shows them how the machine works. And Two-Face loves it. He's like, this is great. We can take over the world with this. And he asked him, he goes, if you can get me a box, get my box and all the TVs across America, and if you help me do that, I'll help you solve the greatest riddle of all. Who is Batman? And then he says he accepts. He says, tails, he accepts. And then the other side, he blows your head off. I'm going to blow your head off. And then he flips the coin, fades to black, and then the next scene, they're robbing diamond stores.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
And they're robbing diamond stores. And then they cut to...
I love this face. This is a good face. This is like something ridiculous is about to happen face.
They cut to Robin and Alfred are doing laundry, okay?
Oh, this is like American History X.
And Alfred understands why he likes black people.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson and the Celtics, and they argue. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're doing laundry, bro. And then he goes, oh, master, leave that, master. I'll handle it. And then he goes, I'm not used to being waited on. And then he does all these crazy, it's like a crazy long scene. The scene's like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Of him doing, like he's supposed to be showing how athletic and cool he is by folding the laundry cool. So he's like, but it's like crazy long, and Alfred's like impressed. So this is him like, this is Alfred. This is them showing.
Right.
This was Tim Burton showing Alfred realizing his potential.
Okay.
That's what this fucking scene is.
Okay. That makes sense. Right. All right, move on. Next thing. What are you talking about? Oh, this is weird. Yeah. Next thing.
So they're robbing like crazy, right? They keep robbing everyone. And Bruce is watching it on TV.
Right.
And Alfred says how Batman and Bruce have apparently have the same enemy. Because they're talking about the Riddler guy.
Right.
You know? Because he's going after Bruce and Batman, apparently. He's saying he is on TV. So Richard asks right then why there is only one locked door in the whole place and what's back there. And then they don't answer him. Okay? So the next day, Nigma has a nice suit, like a regular suit on and regular hair. It's like looks like Jim Carrey again, right?
Right.
Looks like Jim Carrey in the Truman Show or something. Like he looks like a regular guy.
Okay.
And then he's pitching his box to everyone in America, his new TV box. Like that'll be the new 3D thing and it's the new rage. And they're talking about how the news like rioting is occurring outside of stores because people have to get this box. And he goes, and then they say on the news it'll make you a zombie. But in Enigma's words, that's what they said when the TV was invented. So who cares?
That's fair.
Really funny.
That's fair.
They show people using it everywhere, right? And like the brain waves are going up, the green waves, it's really colorful. Way too colorful. Green brain waves are going up. And then it's all going into Enigma's head, Jim Carrey, and he's sitting there all like just so stupid, bro. He's so, Jim, you're dumb as hell, dog.
Yeah.
You just sit there doing that, right? So Alfred goes into the locked room.
Right.
And Robin is waiting, and then right as Alfred, like, as the door's about to close, he does a cool bunch of backflips and swings on the chandelier and swings down the steps, and at the last second busts through the door. He slides all the way down the rocket thing into
the lair.
And when he lands, he sees all the layer of the Batman shit, and then Alfred looks at him, and he's like, he waves at Alfred, right? Into the scene.
Right. Or he could have just sat in a chair and been like, chair.
So,
so he's waving out the scene cuts, so he finds out he's Batman.
So the next scene, it's Nicole Kidman and Bruce, and she goes, "I left something on the table for you. I hope you like it."
Yeah,
and it's a dream catcher, right? And she gives it to Bruce, and then he goes, "My dreams are coming true when I awake now." That's what he tells her, and then he looks down at her office table, right, and he sees Batman magazines everywhere, and he goes, "Maybe I should leave you two alone." And then she goes, I think he's just fascinating clinically, you know? She goes, why do this? Why? What crime?
Oh,
what?
He's fascinating regularly.
He is Batman.
Yeah, he's a dude that just like a bat. No one's going to be like, seen it.
He's cool clinically. Other than that,
yeah, like, what?
Like to study him.
Like you got to really dig deep to be like, oh, he's interesting.
So she's saying how interesting he is, you know, and she's like, what crime did he commit to deserve a life of nightly torture that he thinks he must put himself through this, you know? And then she goes, are you jealous? And then he goes, I can't be jealous of him. And then they get closer and closer, and then she's like, you want to know me? He's like, you want to know who I am? And then she goes, we're all people with rage, violence, and passion. And then they make out. Yeah, I don't know. This movie is for kids. So as they're making out, he gets a call from Alfred on his iPhone. First, watch iPhone also.
Okay,
like he sees his face, and he's FaceTiming on the phone on his watch.
Right.
And Alfred's telling him, sir, Master Richard took the car. And he goes, the Jag? The other car, sir. The Benz? The other car, sir. And then it shows Robin rocking out, blasting music, like hydraulic
on the Batmobile.
All right, like in a really bad part of town where everyone has paint on their face.
Okay. Like, is this part of the movie, or they just have paint on their face?
Everyone has painted face, and it's way too colorful. I don't know what Tim was doing, bro.
What does he think the bad part
Gotham
towns
looks
look like?
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know what he thinks gangs. I think he thinks gangs are really creative.
That's some weird Warriors version
That's
of
what. That's what. Yeah.
gangs.
It's like, that's what it was, and it was like this is just weird.
Robin, come out and play.
He might as well have, bro.
Yeah.
So Robin's like he's like rolling down the window, like hollering at girls, like, come ride on my love machine, baby. And he's talking shit. And then he opens the door and comes out, and then everybody goes, "Oh, that's not Batman." And the girls are like, "That's Bad Boy," and they're all laughing. And then these guys that were holding the girl, they go, "Oh, he ain't the Bat." And this girl like runs and screams, and they go chasing her and they catch her. And then Robin goes after him, right? And he's like, "Hey, let her go." And they're like, "Who the hell are you?" And he's like, "I'm Batman." And then they laugh, and he goes, "What? I just forgot my suit." And then right then the boss like snaps his fingers, and they all go to fight him, and then he beats the shit out of them, all of them easily.
Right.
Like really easy.
Yeah.
And then he beats the shit out of the boss easy. And then right then the girl goes, "Doesn't Batman always kiss the girl?" And then he kisses her, and then she runs off. She's like, "Thanks, Batman." And then he goes, "I can get used to this superhero stuff." And then right then the boss gets up, right? And he whistles, and like 200 guys with painted faces come. And then he starts trying to run and like fight him to escape. And then they kind of get a hold of him. And right then he looks up. Batman slings down, and they all go, "Oh, it's the real Batman." And then they all take off running, right?
Right.
And then right when he lands, he goes up to Batman and he goes, "It was you. It's your fault. They would have been alive if you'd have given yourself up. It was you." And Batman just lets him punch him. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
They cut to, they're back at the house, and Robin's going, "All I can think about is Two-Face. When I was fighting tonight, all I saw was him, even when I was fighting you. And then the pain went away." "Help me find him. And when we do, I kill him." And then he goes, "So you're willing to take a life?" He goes, "As long as it's Two Faces." And then he goes, "The pain doesn't die that way." And he goes, "Trust me, you'll find another Harvey and another one, and then a revenge will be your whole life." And then Robin goes, "You don't understand. Your family wasn't killed by a maniac." And Batman goes, "They were." And then Robin's like,
But I feel like Bruce Wayne's backstory should be well known by everybody.
"Yeah. Well, this guy's a traveling circus. He's traveling circus. They would not know."
All right, Logic, you win this one. All right.
So right then, he goes, "You don't understand." He goes, "Well, let me help you, Bruce. Let me be your partner." And then Bruce is like, "No." So Bruce and Nicole, Alfred and Robin, they're all going to the unveiling of Enigma's TV box at this nice building, right?
Right.
And then Enigma's getting questioned, and the news reporter's like, "What's it like to be the most eligible bachelor?" Blah, blah, blah. And he's got the Drew Barrymore chick with him, right?
Right.
And then right then...
Does she have any speaking lines?
Right then.
Okay.
Crazy you asked that.
Yeah.
Right then Batman walks in, right? And then she goes, "Oh, Eddie, he is cute." And then...
Oh, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, right. And then she goes, "How come you don't look that good in your suit?" And then Jim Carrey's like, "Shut up." And then he's like, they go up, they run up to
what a
Bruce.
bitch.
Right? And they run up to Bruce, and well, you asked if she had lines.
Yeah. Is that her only line?
I think so.
Oh my God. What a waste of Drew Barrymore.
Well, I don't think she was Drew Barrymore at the time.
But still.
I think she was Girl.
Yeah, probably. Who just got out of rehab.
Is that her story?
Yeah, she went to rehab when she was
Drew
like
Barrymore, because she was a child star.
She was an ET.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She definitely was a known person.
Yeah, she was a known person. But she's a much different part of her career.
She hadn't Robert Downey Jr. yet, like the big comeback.
No, or I think this might have been the start.
This had to be, I guess.
Yeah. She went to rehab when she was young. I remember that.
God, she was such a star.
Yeah, Hollywood fucked her up. They got her like
she came back, and alcohol. She came back, had a great career.
Yeah.
Great career. So she she's talking shit.
Right.
And he goes up to Bruce, and now Enigma's talking shit to Bruce, right?
Right.
And he goes, he's telling him how you're yesterday's news, and blah blah blah. And then he kisses the Chase girl, and she's like, "What's your name?" And she's like, "Chase." And he's like, "Ooh, what a grand pursuit you must be." That's what Jim Carrey's saying. And then he goes,
"What a grand pursuit." What a
Jim Carrey, crazy, ridiculously stupid thing to say.
Yeah, creepy thing to say to a woman.
So he kisses her on the hand, and he tells how the new box offers holographic fantasies, and then a guy goes inside, and then he's living on the TV screen, like he's living his dreams, right?
Oh, that's great.
But to do this, Bruce calls out that to do this, you're taking out people's memories and blah blah blah, and doing all these things, right? Mm-hmm. And then he goes, "Oh, don't be a sore loser, Bruce. You're just mad I got there first." And then he goes, "Edward, if you can take things out of people's minds, what's stopping you from putting things in people's minds?" And then And he goes, why don't you try it yourself, Bruce, unless you're too timid to try. And then he's like, just say so if you are. And then he looks at the Chase girls and he's like, shall we dance? And then he starts dancing with her. And then Bruce goes to check out the machine and he's looking at it. And then the Drew Barrymore chick comes up and she goes, looking for something? And then he goes, naughty, I think. He's talking to her. And then, no, she goes naughty to him. And then looking for something. And then he goes, just trying to figure out how to cut this machine off. And then she shows him how and takes like a thing out. He goes, thank you. And then he goes inside. And then right then Jim Carrey looks at her. And then she pulls another one like out of her bra and puts it back in to cut the machine back on. Right. And so he's inside and right then the machine cuts on. And it's like, Bruce, Mr. Wayne, good evening. Relax and tell me your dreams, your fantasies, and your deep, darkest secrets. And then the machine like goes through his brain, right? So right then, Two-Face bursts into the party with his gang, and they shoot up the machine,
right?
And it detaches Bruce, and now he's like comes out of it, and he comes out, and then Enigma's like, no, right?
Well, yeah. Why would they do that? I thought they're working together.
So Two-Face is laughing crazy, and he's robbing everyone. He's stealing everyone's like purses and diamonds, and then Batman. And Bruce escapes down the fire escape, right? Mm-hmm. And then he goes, emergency, Alfred. And then Alfred goes, got it, copy, master. And then he goes to change, right? And then Enigma says, you're ruining my party. And he goes, why would you do that? I had him. And he goes, well, I don't want to wait anymore on the bat. Enigma complains, I'm like, you idiot, we had this, we had that. And then Batman right then comes down out the ceiling and starts kicking everyone's ass.
Right.
And then right then, Robin runs out,
right,
and he goes, Alfred, emergency. And he goes, I could get fired for this, Master Richard. And he goes, and then he gives him the suit anyway. And then Chase kisses Batman inside, comes back to them two, they're kissing. And then Two-Face goes, all right, boys, phase 2. And then Two-Face runs outside, and then they all climb into this hole into a different building, right?
Right.
Batman goes to chase him, but it's a trick. And like they set up like a different chute. So when Batman jumps in, it like shoots him into another place.
Right.
And then they set off a bomb, or like where it shoots Batman, they set off a bomb, right? And they're like, we got him. And they set the bomb off. And then Batman covers himself with his cape. And his cape has like these special fibers that let him survive bombs.
Yeah. Bomb clothes. All right. Bomb clothes, dude. What are you surprised? He's got bomb clothes on. He's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, move on.
You're right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This fucking guy doesn't know about bomb clothes?
I didn't know. So Batman survives.
Yeah, with his bomb clothes. The Batman equivalent of getting into a lead fridge.
Yep. Oh, good reference. Good reference. Yeah. And if you didn't get it, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I've watched no movies.
So you didn't get that. That's your fault. That was great. So, you see, so he goes up right then. He goes, why can't you just die? Right? This is Two-Face yelling this.
Yeah.
And then they shoot down the part of the building Batman's in. Falls on top of him, right?
Right.
And then right then all the rubble's on him, and then you see a hand reach through, and it's Robin, and it pulls him up.
Okay.
And then it's back at the house, and you see Batman getting bandaged up by Alfred. And he's like, what the hell do you think you were doing? And he's like, I was saving your ass. How about some gratitude? He's like, man, I need a name. How about Batboy or Nightwing? And then he's like, how about College Kid? That's what Batman said.
Got him.
Roasted. And he goes, you owe me, by the way. You should let me be your partner. And then he said, wherever Batman goes, I'm right beside him. And he goes, and how are you going to stop me if I want to do that anyway? And then he goes, trust me, I can stop you. And he gets up, and then like Robin goes, he gets all scared.
Yeah.
Because he realized like, oh, this is Batman.
This is big guy too.
Yeah, he's good at the thing that he does.
Batman's good at his job.
Really good at his job. I like people who are good at their job.
Yeah.
And then he gets scared, right? And then he looks at Alfred and he goes, Alfred, why are you encouraging him? And then he goes, he needs it, Master Wayne. And then right then he talks of Chase, right? And he goes, how he's never been in love before. And he goes, but I don't know if she loves Batman it loves Batman though and not Bruce. And he goes, well, why don't you let the lady decide, Master Wayne? And so the next scene, you see Chase at night lying naked, clearly naked, and the sheet is laying wrestling on her naked body. So it's like way too sexual.
Right.
All right. Right then she hears something and she holds the sheet cover like up and she's like, who's there to cover her body? And Batman appears outside the window. She's like, and she runs up and then they start making out. And then they stop and she goes, I'm sorry. I can't believe this. I imagine this moment forever. Your eyes, your lips, your body. And she goes, now I have you and I wish you were someone else. He goes, I guess a girl has to grow up sometime. I met someone and he's not you. I hope you can understand. And then Batman goes, I understand. And he turns and Batman smiles the gayest smile in the history of movies. Batman goes, in his Batman serious eyes, Batman goes, the gayest thing I've ever seen.
Did you fart? Did you fart all the way through that? Yeah.
And he flies off.
Yeah.
After the fart.
Right. Yeah.
So in the paper, it says how Batman survived subway explosion, right? And Two-Face is crying. And Enigma is saying how he has little of what's in Bruce's head. But he said he has little of what's in Bruce's head, but we have something. And he shows it to what he has to Two-Face. And then right then they're watching and they go, and then Riddler goes, riddle me this. What kind of man has bats on the brain? And then they laughing, and he goes, you're a genius, Enigma. And then, so from this day on, Batman is no more. And then he puts away, it cuts back to the Bat Lair. And then Bruce Wayne goes, from this day on, Batman is no more. And he's hiding away all his Batman cars and bat suits and toys. And he's saying how he's done. He's fell in love.
Okay. Sure.
So he says he has something, so he's like packing up all his shit, and he says that you have to help me get Two-Face. I have to get Two-Face, and he goes, you find Harvey, and kill him. Then what? What next? And then Robin looks at him like he doesn't know what to say, and he's like, exactly. You'd be alone, just like me. He's like, I'm your friend. He's like, but I don't need a friend. I need a partner. And then right then Chase, he stops him. He goes, Chase is coming to dinner tonight, and I'm gonna tell her everything. And he walks away. So right then Chase comes over, right? And Robin goes through all the suits, and then he packs up his Robin suit and he takes his motorcycle out and he leaves. So Bruce says he has something to say to her, Chase. And then she says at the same time, I have something to say to you, right? It's that classic scene.
Right.
And then he goes, well, you go first. And then right then Alfred's opening the door to trick-or-treaters for Halloween, like little kids. Who I don't know how they got to Wayne Manor. That's crazy. Right.
People just have access in Gotham. At least this version of Gotham.
In this version of Gotham, there's no security anywhere ever.
Yeah.
So she talks to him about this man she's attracted to and blah, blah, blah. And then right then she drops flowers on the ground. And then he has a flashback to his parents again. So Two-Face and the Riddler and his gangsters, they pull up to Wayne Manor. And they're all like, happy Halloween, right? And then Bruce is still having the flashback. And then she's like, Bruce, what's wrong? And he's like, it's happening again. My parents' death. He's like, I got to tell you something. Something I've never told anyone. He tells her the story of like his parents' wake and then how he was running to try to get away. And he's like, I fell into a cave and it felt like I fell forever. And this cave was huge. And in the shadows, I saw what was coming forward. I saw what was coming towards me. And it scared me at first. But then I realized the figure in the dark was my destiny. It would change my life forever. And I would use it to strike terror and evil in my enemies. And then she goes, what was it? And he goes, and I would have revenge on all my enemies one day. And she goes, what are you trying to tell me? And then she kisses him. And then they just keep kissing. And then right then Alfred opens the door to other trick-or-treaters. And it's the Riddler and Two-Face.
Okay.
And they knock him out. Mm-hmm. And then Riddler goes, seize and capture. No killing to all his people, right?
Right.
And then they go looking for him. He goes, if I was a superhero, where would I hide? And then he finds the door and he goes, spank me, like the Mask character.
Right.
He's just crazy at this point.
Right.
They come in and Bruce and Chase are like kissing, right? And then they start running. And then Bruce punches one of them and they're trying to run away and get away from him. And then the Riddler is now down in the lair and he's throwing Riddler bombs everywhere, blowing everything up one by one and like dancing and laughing, right? And he's blowing everything up. And then Two-Face is upstairs watching Batman get away with the girl, like beating up his henchman. And he's flipping a coin and he keeps going, right? And then finally he blows up the Batmobile.
Right.
Okay. And when he blows up the Batmobile, it comes back to Two-Face and he finally gets the dark side of the coin.
Right.
And he goes, ha ha, and he shoots Batman.
Oh, shit.
And Batman falls down the stairs. And then he goes up to him and he's about to shoot him in the head. And then right then the Riddler goes, don't kill him. If you kill him, he won't learn anything. And then they take Chase and they leave him there and they put a Riddler box next to him. And now he's just shot.
Okay.
With the Riddler box next to him, okay?
Okay.
So right then, the next morning, he's waking and he goes, Master Bruce. And he wakes in his bed and he goes, how are you, young man? And he goes, you all right? And he goes, Alfred, You know? And he goes, they took Miss Chase. He goes, Master Dick also ran away, sir. And he goes, they destroyed the cave. And there was another riddle. Right?
Right.
So right then you see Chase, and she's chained up in a Riddler chair.
Right.
And she goes, Batman will come for me. And he mocks her, and he goes, I'm counting on it. And then they put up the bat signal. Mm-hmm. And then
how do they have access to the bat signal?
No. Commissioner Gordon puts up the bat signal.
Okay.
And the Riddler puts up a gigantic green question mark above it, which looks really cool.
Yeah, okay.
The best shot of the whole movie.
Okay.
Where it's like, oh, that is dope. Like, even if they made a movie now for Batman and the Riddler,
that'd be dope.
That would be dope. You know what I mean? So Bruce and Alfred have all the riddles in front of them now. They're trying to figure it out, right? And they're like Edward Nygma, and all the suits. They're going through like the riddles, and they're trying to figure it out. And they're telling them how all the suits got destroyed.
Right. Ooh, you tripped yourself up here.
No, there it is. Oh, I found it. Okay.
Ooh.
They're going through all and they while they're going through they're figuring out like how many suits they have left, blah blah blah. They figure out the riddle. It's Edward Enigma, and they figure out where he is. Okay.
Right.
And then they say the only suit that they have left is the prototype, and it's like this cool futuristic Batman suit. Okay.
Right.
And they haven't used it yet. And he's like, well, tonight's a perfect night. And then right then he goes, well, Alfred, should I go by sea or by air? And then you hear somebody go, well, how about both? And then Robin comes down, and he's in an even doper Robin suit. Right?
Okay.
And he goes, who's your tailor? And then Alfred goes, me, sir. And he goes, can't promise. He goes, can't promise I won't kill Harvey, Robin. And Batman goes, man's got to go his own way. And then they go, not just friends. And then he goes, partners. And they shake. Right? So they take off. Really cool shot. Batman in the Batjet, Robin in the Bat Speedboat.
Right.
All right. And they're going, and they're coming in hot on the Riddler's lair. So the Riddler and Two-Face sit down at a table like this.
Right.
There is a screen in between them. And they start playing the game
Battleship? Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
You're going to love this movie, dude.
Yeah.
They start playing Battleship, okay?
Yeah.
And they're going
fuck
like,
is Tim Burton
A14, hit, right? And then it misses. They're trying to hit the summer, and then he goes, B12, hit. And then they try to hit the Batjet, and it misses, right? Batman and Robin, they're dodging, right? And then finally, the Riddler goes, C9, I love this game, right? And then Robin injects herself, and boom, it blows up, right? And they're like, and then, he goes, you sunk my battleship. And they start laughing like crazy, right?
Right.
So right then, Robin puts on an oxygen mask, and he starts swimming towards the lair, and all these bad guys start swimming towards him, right? And then now he's like fighting them underwater,
right?
Okay. So they shoot down one of Batman's wings, and now the Batjet is
going down.
Okay. As the Batjet goes down, hits, starts sinking underwater. He hits a couple buttons. It ejects itself and turns into the Bat submarine.
Yeah.
Now it's the Bat submarine.
Okay.
Which is also really cool. And then the Bat, he drives that up to Robin fighting, and then it shoots himself out, and then he fights all the bad guys. He ties them up in a net, and then he fucking sends them off. Just cool Batman.
Okay, cool Batman
easily,
stuff. Yeah.
So then they swim up to shore, and then the Riddler's watching them on camera, and he goes, "Now the real games begin." So right then it cuts back to Robin, and he goes, holy rusted metal, Batman!" And Batman goes, "Huh?" Just like that. And then he goes, "It's holy rusted metal, the ground." And it's like literally holy rusted metal. Tim Burton, you're a son of a bitch.
Yeah, you piece of shit.
So the whole island starts moving, right? And it separates the both of them.
Right.
Okay? So and Batman, he's looking and he finds a door and he enters it. And when he gets in, it locks behind him. And now he's in this long corridor looking up. So he starts climbing, okay? He starts climbing. Mm-hmm. And then Batman uses so as he starts climbing, it shows the
Ooh. What happened here? Wait, what do you mean the island starts splitting up? What does that mean exactly? Where are they exactly? Are they like on an island? Or are they on
an island?
Like a man-made?
Like a man-made kind of island.
Okay,
so
okay.
Islands, like the Riddler set it up with contraptions.
Okay. So he's just trying to run through the riddles.
Yeah. So when it sets up and he gets locked inside, he starts climbing up the corridor. it cuts back to Robin, and Robin now, Two-Face pops up.
Right.
Right? And he starts fighting Robin, and Robin starts beating the shit out of him.
Right.
And he's like, this is for my mother, and my father, and my brother, and this is for me. And he knocks him out, and then he knocks him off the island. So Two-Face is now hanging onto the island with one hand.
Right.
So he's about to fall to his death, right? Batman is now, it cuts back to Batman, and like a thing of knives starts dropping down on the corridor that he's climbing up. And so now he starts climbing down, and he looks down, and there's just like jagged rocks at the bottom. So he's like, fuck. And so he uses these like booster jets on his feet, and that like is somehow it's enough force to like turn the knives coming
around
down like that, and it like flips, and now he's like, and it, like the knives fall, and he grabs the chain, and it slingshots him up to where the Riddler is.
Okay.
Like some cool Batman shit that he would do.
Yeah.
Okay. So it slings him up. All right. And right then the Two-Face says, it's back to him holding on, and he goes, I'll see you in hell. That's what he yells to Robin.
Right.
And Robin goes, I'd rather see you in jail.
Nice.
And he reaches his arm down.
Yeah.
And he pulls the Two-Face up, and Two-Face is like, good boy, noble, stupid, but, noble, but stupid, but a good boy. And then he pulls a gun on him, of course.
Yeah.
Right? And then right then it cuts back to Batman, and you hear, riddle me this, riddle me that. Who is afraid of the big bad bat? And it spins in a chair, and it's Jim Carrey in an all-white diamond-studded Riddler outfit.
That's amazing.
Okay, all white diamonds at a Riddler outfit.
Yeah.
And he he goes, let's get real. And then Batman goes, let's get real. This is between you and me. And then Two-Face yells, and me, right? And then so they're all looking at each other now. So Enigma says how soon his box will be all over the world.
Right.
And if knowledge is power, then a god I shall be. He says it just like that, all evilly and weird. And then he goes, your mind is the greatest riddle of all. Can Bruce Wayne coexist with Batman? And he goes, but first, before we get into that, let's meet our contestants. And he starts talking crazy. And he goes, the first up, the absolutely fabulous Chase Meridian. And he explains like her
Great
backstory,
name.
right?
Yeah.
And then she's tied up in this little thing, and a curtain drops in this little tube, right?
Right.
And then he goes, and behind curtain number 2, Batman's one and only partner, Robin. And then another, and he's Batman, Robin's in a tube tied up, And he goes, and below the contestants, my favorite, a watery, jagged grave. Now, not enough time to save them both. Which one will it be, Batman? Bruce's love or the Dark Knight's junior partner? And then he's looking at them both, and Batman's looking up, and he goes, well, there's no way to save them or myself. It's a giant death trap. And then right then, Riddler's about to hit the button. He goes, wait, I have a riddle for you. And he goes, you do? For me? Really? And he sits back down, and he goes, well, tell me. And he goes, I see without seeing. And then Batman right then clicks a little button that he can't, like, you can barely notice it. And he goes, to me, darkness is as clear as daylight. What am I?
I see without seeing, and to me, darkness is as good as daylight.
Clear as daylight.
Clear as daylight. Oh, are they bats?
And the Riddler goes, please, you're as blind as a bat. Exactly. And he throws one of his things up, and it hits the big power blender that's holding it all together, but it still looks like a blender.
Right.
And it knocks all the power out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, no! And all the power goes out. And now all the knowledge that he was stealing from everyone's brain now goes back. It's like, and he's like, and it's all going like into his brain.
Right.
Right? Or sucking out of his brain. Like he's doing, and he's like, and then Jim Carrey literally says the word while this is happening. He goes, bummer. And then while he's doing that, he hits the button, and Robin and Chase fall. And so Batman dive down. And he's diving down, and he hits he shoots his little cliff thing gun that he has, shoots one, and then he grabs the Chase girl and saves her. And then he keeps falling, and then Robin like holds up his rope, and at the last second he grabs his rope and shoots it. And then epic hero music plays like da-da-da, and he's holding on to Robin, and then it's a shot of them all swinging, and they're all smiling, right?
And then Two-Face.
So they climb back up the rope, and they get all the way up back to the top beam. And
what's Two-Face doing the entire time?
They get back up to the top beam, and Two-Face is there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
And Two-Face is laughing crazy. And right? And he goes, no more riddles. And then he's about to, he holds his gun and he's about to shoot him. And he goes, aren't you forgetting something, Harvey? You know? And Harvey goes, what? And he goes, your coin. And he goes, you're right. You know, you've always been a good friend, Batman. And then he flips his coin up. And then right then Batman grabs a handful of coins out of his pocket, throws them all up. Two-Face goes, no! Ah! No! And he falls off the beam to his death. And that's how Two-Face dies. So
Great. He just hit him with pocket sand. That's what happened. Pocket sand. That's what happened.
pretty much, dude. Yeah. Sand in his eyes.
Yeah, that's great.
So they go back upstairs, right?
Yeah.
And as he lands, he dies. And it's like that Terminator 2 shot where the hand falls in the water slowly.
Yeah.
And as his hand falls in the water slowly, the coin lands, and it lands on like the clean side of the coin, like the side that he doesn't want.
Yeah.
And that's how he dies. Okay, so that's the last Two-Face.
Oh, what a good shot.
So the Riddler, they come back on him and he looks fucked up. He looks like you ever seen a movie where the little kid's got the fucked up face? He's like the Rocky or the Mask or some shit, and it's like a kid. It's about a movie they made a new version of it now with Owen Wilson called like Wonder or something.
Oh,
It's about a kid with who looks like his face is like.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called.
But you know what I'm talking about, right? So his face looks like that. That's what his face looks like.
Right? I think it's called Kid with the Fucked Up Face.
Kid with the Fucked Up. Oh, okay. It's like a really good movie.
Yeah.
So his face looks like that.
Yeah.
Right? And then he goes, why can't I kill you? And then Batman goes, because I'm both Bruce Wayne and Batman. And not because I have to be. Because I choose to be. And the Riddler goes, no!
What does that even mean?
It ends.
Yeah.
Cut to Arkham Asylum.
Okay.
All right. Shout out Arkham. Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
And he goes, they go, thank you, Dr. Meridian, for coming, right? And they go, this Edward Enigma has been screaming for hours that he knows the true identity of Batman. And then she looks all nervous. And then she goes, he goes, Edward. And he goes, Edward, huh? And she goes, okay, thank you. She goes, thank you, Doctor. I appreciate it. And then she goes up to him and she goes, Edward, it's Dr. Chase. Do you remember me? And then you hear, how could I forget? And then she goes, Dr. Burton. It was Tim Burton, doctor. Tells me.
Don't wink at me like I care.
You know the Batman? Dr. Burton tells me you know the Batman. And then he goes, say please. And she goes, Edward, please. Who is Batman? And then he jumps in front of the camera and he's in like the old school jail outfit, like the white and black stripes.
Right.
And he's flapping his jail wings going, I am Batman. Ah! And then she looks at him and then she walks outside to Bruce Wayne. And she goes, your secret's safe. He's a wacko. And then he gives her Dreamcatcher back and he goes, thank you. And then they kiss. Alfred smiles. And then they look up. He sees he's got to go. And then she goes, don't work too late. And then she goes walking to the car. And then it's a shot of Batman and Robin running with the bat signal behind them in slow-mo. Batman forever.
I'm not going to clap for this one. Okay, I'm going to clap for this one. That sounds ridiculous.
The craziest Batman movie. No, I lied. The second craziest Batman movie of all time.
Could we have another category 5er here? We'll see.
We will see.
We'll see how I feel about it.
We hope you had fun. We will be back soon.
Keep beaning.
Keep beaning, man.